chief guest, Surgeon Vice Admiral Aarti Sareen, Ati Vishesh Seva Medal, Director General Armed Forces Medical Services at Armedicon 2025. Her remarkable journey, adorned with numerous achievements and accolades, stands as a testament to her dedication, expertise, and exemplary service to the nation. The flag officer is an alumnus of Armed Forces Medical College and was commissioned into the Army Medical Corps on December 26, 1985. She is a postgraduate in radio diagnosis from AFMC and has a DNB in radiation oncology from the prestigious Tata Memorial Hospital, Mumbai. She has also done advanced training in gamma knife surgery from the University of Pittsburgh, USA. She has authored numerous publications and contributed to books on liver diseases and assisted reproduction. Over a career spanning 39 years, she has contributed significantly as a radiologist, radiation oncologist, and hospital administrator. She pioneered the establishment of the Department of Radiation Oncology at Army Hospital Research and Referral. Her expertise has been recognized through key positions, including Professor and Head, Radiation Oncology at Army Hospital R&R and INHS Ashwini, as well as Consultant at Command Hospital Southern Command. Under the visionary leadership, the Armed Forces established early intervention centers beginning at INHS Ashwini in 2021, which have now expanded to 23 centers. Her illustrious administrative journey encompasses some of the most prestigious appointments, including Commanding Officer of INHS Ashwini, Command Medical Officer, Southern and Western Naval Commands, Director and Commandant AFMC, and Director General Medical Services, Air and Navy. On 1st October 2024, she made history as the first woman to assume the role of Director General Armed Forces Medical Services. Furthermore, she served on the National Task Force appointed by the Honorable Supreme Court to develop safe working protocols for medical professionals. Her dedication has earned her commendations from the Chief of Naval Staff, General Officer Commanding-in-Chief Southern Command, Chief of Army Staff, and in 2021, she was awarded the Vishesh Seva Medal, followed by the Ati Vishesh Seva Medal in 2024 by the Honorable President of India. The flag officer has recently been conferred with honorary felicitation of Doctor of Science, honoris causa, by the Pandit Bhagwat Dayal Sharma University of Health Sciences, Rohtak, for her exceptional contributions to medical sciences and administration. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in extending a warm welcome to Surgeon Vice Admiral Aarti Sareen, whose illustrious career and contributions continue to inspire and set benchmarks in the Armed Forces Medical Services.
May I now request the Director and Commandant, Armed Forces Medical College, to kindly deliver the welcome address.
Surgeon Vice Admiral Aarti Sareen, AVSM, BSM, DGFMS, Lieutenant General Madhuri Kanitkar, PVSM, AVSM, BSM, retired, and Vice Chancellor of MUHS, DGMS Army, DGMS Navy, DGDS, DCIDS, Commandant RR, DGHS, Surgeon Vice Admiral Naidu Sir, AVSM, BSM, General Officers, Flag Officers, Air Officers. It's my proud privilege to welcome you all to the 73rd conference, erstwhile AFMRC, now nicely coined by DG Office as Armedicon. And on behalf of AFMC, I welcome you all to this cradle of medical education. And probably that is the right place to carry on with all our activities, with the basic primary focus being on research and policy making. This Armedicon is a nice, refreshing change to the erstwhile entrenched names, probably a harbinger of ourselves modifying to the way we approach research and important decision makings in the AFMS. We are living in a time of unprecedented changes where the world is evolving, new viruses, new technologies, new breakthroughs, and to keep in sync with that, we obviously have to step up our research. And honestly speaking, between us, we are still not at that level where we should be. So sometimes I wonder what holds us back. If I compare our projects, earlier FMRC, now Innovation, with ICMR projects, the biggest stumbling blocks are the timelines for financial releases and paperwork's involved. If probably we can devise our ways during deliberation of this conference to overcome research, because when we see a lot of brilliant minds but getting bogged down either due to procedural delays, financial delays, or multi-centric concept not being there in our thing, everyone wants to do it on their own. Whereas the facilities maybe in the Delhi complex and Pune complex are far outnumbering. And if we link up more, not only just in our processes, but probably in our minds and hearts, we'll be able to foster research much more. And I'm grateful to the Office of DGFMS for giving us all the requisite permissions for organizing this conference, where we made some little changes to make it more inclusive and more academic than earlier. And I am very sure that each one of you will take out time to dwell upon them, pick up the minds of your speakers, and actively contribute towards the discussions. Wishing you all a very happy conference and all the best. Thank you. I would now request the DGFMS to kindly come up and inaugurate the conference with the e-lighting.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Lieutenant General Madhuri Kanitkar, retired, Vice Chancellor of the Maharashtra University of Health Sciences, Director Generals, the DCIDS, DGHS, Commandant, Army Hospital R&R, General Officers, Commandant AFMC, Flag Officers, Air Officers, Delegates, ladies and gentlemen. It's a singular honor and a privilege to address this August gathering to inaugurate the 73rd Armed Forces Medical Research Conference. A new name that we've given it is Armedicon today. The occasion is truly significant as it brings together the tri-services medical fraternity of the armed forces. It provides a unique opportunity for participation by medical, dental, and M&S officers from across the Armed Forces Medical Services onto a single platform to share knowledge, expertise, experiences, discuss ideas that pave the way towards the advancements in patient care in both war and peace. It's a matter of great esteem that we have the presence of a revered stalwart in the field of medicine, research, and education amidst us today. I warmly welcome Lieutenant General Madhuri Kanitkar, PVSM, AVSM, and VSM retired, Vice Chancellor of the Maharashtra University of Health Sciences, to this forum. Her presence at this event is an honor and a privilege for the Armed Forces Medical Services. That is not new to her and will certainly motivate us to strive for excellence in every which way in the field of medical education. We all know the world is at an important juncture where medical research and innovation is mandatory to medical science. Worldwide, research in medicine is on a meteoric rise, with cutting-edge advancements in personalized medicine right up to innovative approaches even in global and preventive health. The armed forces also needs to keep pace with these developments, and we are earnestly attempting to do so by active participation and partnerships with leading research institutions in the country towards research and innovation that hold relevance for the armed forces and the field of medicine at large. We are also trying to streamline some of the processes just mentioned by the Commandant AFMC. This conference serves as a remarkable venue for deliberations and discussions on a large range of topics, including clinical medicine, lab medicine, and combat medical support, which we've included this time because we have a tri-service collection of medical officers and dental officers and nursing officers who will be able to deliberate and share their ideas and good practices on these subjects. The sessions here will not only facilitate meaningful discussions, but will help us lay the foundation for a strategic roadmap that guides perspective planning and collaborative efforts within the Armed Forces Medical Services. The academic program is curated to inspire, educate, and challenge the thinking process and the approach committed to advancing the art and science of medicine. High-quality research is not just a choice, it is a necessity. To remain a formidable force within the national medical community, we simply must embrace innovation and research as a way of life. And we must harness our talents and pursue excellence in all our endeavors. As personnel of the Armed Forces Medical Services, each one of you possesses the potential to go that extra mile, and your efforts will not only enhance your individual credentials, but will also strengthen the organization and its legacy of excellence. As we embark on this journey of learning and teaching, I want to emphasize the importance of collaboration with centers of excellence and interdisciplinary research amongst the armed forces institutions itself. To further this cause, we've taken significant steps to collaborate with MOUs done with ICMR, Department of Biotechnology, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, several IITs, and we've just received an invitation from the Tata Memorial Center. These partnerships will enable us to engage in joint research in subjects of high altitude, aerospace, underwater, which are our niche specialties. We should be the leaders of the nation in doing so. Everybody is looking up to us. Everybody is actually moving into these fields, and we must stay ahead of them on that. In addition, we are also participating in multicentric research activities that span a wide spectrum of medical disciplines. And these collaborations are not merely agreements on paper. They represent our unwavering commitment to advancing healthcare, and we must take these forward and just not leave them on paper. And these are challenges which we face, but we will take them forward. The collaboration with ICMR in particular has been most productive and beneficial for the Armed Forces Medical Services. We miss the director ICMR who was supposed to have been here today, but there's a press conference regarding the GBS syndromes in Delhi with the health minister, so he could not make it. Under the aegis of the ICMR, a PhD program has been launched in the Armed Forces Medical Center. We've also got a Center of Advanced Research of Aerospace Psychology, which has commenced at the Institute of Aerospace Medicine at Bangalore. AFMS experts have been proposed for various ICMR committees. The VRDL labs have been funded in the AFMS hospitals, and AFMS researchers have availed the opportunity to apply for research grant to the ICMR and participate in national level collaborative research projects. So it's up to all of you sitting in this hall to propagate this information down. We are waiting for some really good projects to come from everywhere. Research and innovation is a mindset that needs to be inculcated from an early age in medical professionals. Hence, our AFMC emphasis and encouragement is being given to the undergraduates and postgraduates for participation in research activities. The initiative is possible with the excellent support system in place at the MUHS, and we are grateful to the esteemed Vice Chancellor for the same, including her efforts on digital health for the UGs and PGs. Recognition plays a vital role in inspiring and motivating professionals to excel. Achievements in research and innovation and academic endeavors must be awarded and celebrated as they serve as encouragement both for young as well as seasoned professionals. During this conference, we will honor excellence through awards for the best research papers, academic achievements, and contributions to the MJAFI. These recognitions not only celebrate individual success, but also reaffirm our collective pursuit of innovation and progress in a novel idea, a product, service, or a care pathway that has clear benefits to the armed forces. Over the next 3 days, I'm confident that the deliberations and sessions will lead to sagacious insights and actionable strategies. Sessions focusing on innovation, creativity, and future challenges will undoubtedly serve as a catalyst for meaningful change within the Armed Forces Medical Services. The conference is not just about sharing ideas, it is about transforming those ideas into tangible outcomes that benefit both our personal and the broader community. It will also provide the attendees with an opportunity for networking with each other and exchanging best practices in terms of improved patient care and satisfaction, increased efficiency, safety, and collaboration. As we look into the future, let us remember that the work we undertake today, research takes very long. So it's not only for ourselves, but it's for the generations to come. The research we conduct, the innovations we attempt, and the knowledge we disseminate have the potential to redefine how we care for our personnel and their families during peace and war and safeguard their health. Our mission is to create a resilient, adaptive, and future-ready Armed Forces Medical Services. And if we are to realize the benefits from this, all of us here as leaders must create and foster a culture where innovation can flourish, where medical officers, undergraduates, and patients feel empowered to contribute to research and innovation and help make change happen. This conference is not just a testament to our collective dedication, but it's also a reminder for the responsibility we carry. The Armed Forces Medical Services has always stood for the highest standards of medical care 24/7 into 365, offering unwavering support for our clientele. It is through forums like these that we strengthen our resolve, broaden our perspectives, and push the boundaries of what is possible in medicine and healthcare. We need to look at subjects like telemedicine, artificial intelligence, relevant to medical practice, of course, the benefits of 3D printing and customized services, immunotherapy, next gene sequencing, virtual reality, point-of-care devices, and circadian health. I express my appreciation for our speakers, panelists, moderators, and presenters who will share their insights and expertise with us for the next 2.5 days. As we dedicate ourselves to advancing healthcare, research, and medical innovation for the armed forces, I extend my best wishes to the motivated team that has diligently organized the conference, Commandant AFMC and his team from Pune, and DGHS and his team at MR, PNT, and OPP from my office. Success, and look forward to the remarkable ideas, solutions, and the way forward that will emerge from it. Together, let us chart a course towards the shortest route to jointness. In all our endeavors in the Armed Forces Medical Services, may we remain standardized in everything that we do across all the 3 services. Enjoy your stay in Pune. Sarve Santu Niramaya. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Thank you, ma'am. With this, ladies and gentlemen, we conclude the inaugural ceremony. We now commence the proceedings with the first event of the day, the keynote address. May I now invite on stage the chairperson for this session, Lieutenant General Sadhna Saxena Nair, Ati Vishesh Seva Medal, the Director General Medical Services Army, and the Senior Colonel Commandant, the Army Medical Corps. May I also invite on stage the co-chairperson for this session, Major General V.V. Joshi, Vishesh Seva Medal, the MG Med Headquarters Southern Command. May I request the chairpersons to kindly take over the proceedings of this session.
How will we here on this solemn occasion, prestigious event which is unfolding here today, and to be chairing the keynote address, which will be delivered by none other than the most eminent Armedicon. I think everyone in the medical field, the clinician, the academician, or researcher, or medical education, well aware of Armedicon and on a personal note, I would like to say that when we joined as first termers at AFMC in 1981, and that was the seventh termer, we were all very much in awe of her because of her beauty and brains and grace combined. But as one got to know her more, one realized that there's also a lot of warmth in her heart, which she extends to others. I remember as when she was in ninth term, and she taught in every possible subject. She was a university topper, she was a college topper, I think every exam she'd been talking. And in ninth term, when she was in ninth term, we thought that to be such a topper, she would be studying every minute of the day. And we were most amazed when we used to go past the visitors room, and we saw the tailor measuring her up for her wedding, which was just around the corner. She was getting married just after the final entrance exams. And so we realized that, it's not, it is of course a lot of hard work, but there are a lot of grace cells within her, which permitted her to strike a fine balance between many things. It's my duty today to tell you all briefly about her, because I'm sure everyone knows about her, but still, I must tell you that, of course, we know she's an alumnus of AFMC. She did her MDB practice from RAN, which is Ashwani, and then she followed her DNB. She's done her fellowship in pediatric nephrology from AIMS New Delhi, from the National University of Health, Singapore, and from the famous Great Ormond Street Hospital for Children in London. She's a famous fellow of medical education. She has a number of military awards, 2 and civil awards for her credit. She's been awarded the Mission Seva Medal, the Ati Mission Seva Medal, and the Param Mission Seva Medal. She was also awarded the Best Teacher Award of NUHS in 2008. She held a number of clinical and administrative appointments. She was a professor and HOD of Department of Pediatrics at the AFMC. She's been the Dean and Deputy Commandant of AFMC. She did a stellar role as the MG Med of Northern Command. She was the Deputy Chief of Integrated Defense Staff, the DCIDS Med. And she was also a member of the Prime Minister's Science and Technology and Innovation Advisory Council. She has been nominated as the Honorable Vice Chancellor of the NUHS Council since 1st November 2021. She has more than 100 publications to her credit in both national and international peer-reviewed journals, as contributing to multiple chapters in numerous books. In addition to that, she has participated in numerous national and international delegations on various medical conferences. May I request Representative Marshall, please deliver the keynote address.
Thank you so much, General Sadhana and General Joshi, Admiral Arti Sareen, the DG AFMS, Admiral Kavita, General Officers, Flag Officers, Air Officers, dear faculty members. It's such an honor and a pleasure to be standing on this podium. And thank you, Sadhana, for that introduction. I think another first must be that someone who's been there from on this very lectern, from an undergraduate cadet student in those days to the Vice Chancellor. I mean, it's been a long journey, and at every opportunity I've had the honor of standing at this podium and talking, and it's so humbling to be back here. And for that, I really, absolutely from the bottom of my heart, thank you, DG AFMS and the Commandant AFMC for inviting me to give this keynote address in my very own alma mater. And I must compliment you all. I loved, because change is the only thing that is constant. And this nomenclature of, the AFMRC, which was again another thing that I must have attended, everyone from a major to a vice chancellor in some capacity or the other. I mean, it's been years, and for that, it's a breath of fresh air to change it and call it Armedicon, because I think this is one opportunity where across the ranks, we get to see what's happening in the armed forces and be the change we want to see it happen. So with that, I would like to talk when I was asked to speak on medical education, the way forward. And I want to quote Thomas Edison, who said, if we achieved everything we were capable of, we would astound ourselves. And I think the Armed Forces Medical Services can astound itself of all that it's capable of doing and can do it. So how my outline would be as follows, that medical education and healthcare as it stands today. Since we're looking at the future, we must understand the millennial health professionals and our patients, which will come the way, and then plan a way forward. Instead of just talking theory, I thought, let me share an experience, because there's a huge future here. Future of medical care and education of the nation, which is in this auditorium today. And therefore, the experience of having brought about this change at MUHS through UG and PG education, faculty development, research and innovation, and future map, because we are part of this great nation where the Prime Minister has said that we need to become a Vishwaguru. So we need to think big. And therefore, I would like to end with a roadmap for the armed forces. So I think we will all agree that today there's a question of too many and yet too less. Colleges are being opened left, right, and center. We have opened in the just last year in Maharashtra 10 new government colleges. So you can imagine if this is there in every state, because of the vision and the push that is coming from the political hierarchy, that we need to have doubling our UG medical education, because there are aspirations. On the surface of it, it sounds ridiculous. But look at the other way, that there are lakhs and lakhs of students up here wanting to get into the healthcare. And the other thing, our country today, 60% of the population is under 35 years of age. And look at this population, which is going to be heal for India, heal for the world. Because this is the healthcare people who are going to be available to all the aging nations across the world. So probably if we look at the larger picture, we need them. But we are compromising on quality because we have overcrowded and understaffed government institutions. Over 600 UG and more than 200 PG institutions today, inadequate postgraduate opportunities, limited research focus and infrastructure. We all know in private colleges, there's limited access to practical training. There's a high cost of education and admission irregularities. So there's a huge challenge that we have to face. And in that, ladies and gentlemen, the armed forces contributing to medical education in the country is a huge resource which the nation realizes. There's an imbalance in urban and rural training and workforce. In one big city, whether it's Pune, Bombay or Puducherry, one small area having 10 to 15 medical colleges, where do the patients come from? There's a brain drain and retention issues. Academia is not looked at as the best opportunity out in civil, but here, as against that in the armed forces, it's the biggest honor to come as faculty to AFMC. And then when you go out, you continue to contribute to the nation's building. And there's a huge stress and burnout of doctors. So these are some of the important aspects. And I love to say that the healthcare basic problem today is that the medical profession is ailing, with people losing faith in the medical profession. Doctors are taken to courts. We are lucky in uniform not to be exposed to all this, but we are also part of this nation. The out-of-pocket expenses of patients are huge, and the reason is the nation moved away from preventive and good health, that is wellness, to illness and disease cure, concentrating on tertiary. I wish they had followed the armed forces, where we still stress on primary. I know as young, these things, as we grow along, we kind sometimes forget and say, why are we doing all this? But our strength is that we have an excellent tiered system of primary, secondary, and tertiary care. There is a changing age and disease spectrum, where as our population also, even this is a very old this thing, because after 2016, we don't have the daily data, but look at where the jumps have occurred, and 56% of India's disease burden is due to unhealthy diets. And we in the armed forces realize it even better because we have a better health structure. But in spite of that, this is not really changing the education system. So therefore, as a pediatric nephrologist, I love the stages of CKD. I think we have a multi-system disorder, and therefore we need multi-pronged treatment. And when we look at education, I think that has to, because if the starting point is education in healthcare and research. And I think the bigger problem is reduce the healthcare professionals' stress and burnout. Why I've highlighted these two is because this is where we can, the rest is, I mean, it's okay to say this should be done, that should be done, someone should do it, but it's time to see what I can do. And this is something we all can really work out on. And there's no doubt that medical education impacts healthcare. So the moment we bring quality education, it impacts the healthcare. I think today we have excellent healthcare in the armed forces because this cradle of excellence of AFMC is providing some of the best doctors who continue to serve as against what's happening in the rest of the country. When we look at the millennial healthcare professionals and the patients are going to be very different, and we're already seeing it. Today, we were just struggling with the Google Baba, but we're going to have more and more of ChatGPT, AI, and this kind of way which the patient will come to us with so many issues. And they're going to have a lot of, with personalized medicine, a lot of data available and analytical skills to be able to understand what's happening to them. As against that, the younger generation is probably growing towards a less resilient situation. They want more of work-life balance, working fewer hours. They value digital connections to patients. So our education system has to keep in sync with all this and understand the patient as well as the student when we do that. We did a survey from the MUHS, how do students learn? And I think this is important because even in the armed forces, we give a lot. We have excellent faculty giving didactic lectures, but probably a time has come where this faculty can contribute to nation building and this. So because students prefer to learn on hybrid mode, even at AIMS Delhi, they did a survey and they found most of them were preferring to watch YouTube videos and online teaching because they wanted at their time, at their place, not to sit in a classroom and attend a didactic lecture. So therefore, we are moving towards a digital revolution, and so is the country. National Digital Health Mission has been announced. So our education needs to keep in sync, and faculty needs to train the future generation in a way they would like to learn, because we continue to take medical education as a student-centric activity. What we need to is break the silos. I think what is important is that medical education happens today in medical colleges. Public health happens in majority in government hospitals, and research happens, the best of it, by scientists in ICMR and DBT labs, and the three don't speak to each other. So let us accept it that we need to break this, because unless education, research, and health talk to each other and drive each other, the questions will have to come from real world situations for which we need to find solutions. And I think a health university and a medical college becomes really the heart where these three can be aligned in a beautiful way. And to improve the quality of education and research, we will have to concentrate on faculty development, have more funds allocated, and autonomy to states as well as medical colleges. And that is the vision. And I think AFMC is also trying to look at that. I really wish it well. Health universities, I think, have a great role, but I think we in uniform, I've always taken pride in all my talks, whether it's the TED or anywhere, saying that we are a blessed lot. We serve three renowned and respected professions in one life. We are all doctors, teachers, and soldiers. And I think in that, we can have governance and leadership which can show. So I think a time where our young minds sitting in the front rows are stimulated to think big, because it is you who are going to change the future of medical education and healthcare. And I think this is a care where instead of education, patient care, which was our primary, with a small element of research, this is the diagram that I would like everyone to concentrate on, and AFMC and AFMS is going in that direction. I myself, having seen it over the years, it's such a pleasure to see the name, not just a cosmetic change, but the way research is going. As a young major, when I struggled for the first AFMRC project and was trying to get support, I was told, research karna hai, tum karo. But today the nation is also looking, and in the PM's TIAC, of which I continue to serve as a member, we are talking of ease of doing research. Everyone's talking of ease of doing business. We are trying to see ease of, and I'm really happy that the Commandant said that you all will delve on that issue as to how can you make it easier for research to end into real answers. And the national education policy has also given us that it's in keeping with this SGDs for access, equity, quality, affordability, and accountability to come into education. And I feel AFMC is absolutely a beacon which can show the way to the nation how it should be done. And integrating the various systems of medicine, gone are the days of having superior, inferior. We have to work together. And there is no role for mixopathy. I happen to serve on the Committee of Niti Aayog for Integrated Health, and we strongly said that there is no scope for mixopathy, but at the same time, there is no scope also for thinking someone is superior, someone is inferior. There's goodness in everything. We have to come together to see that. And online and digital modality would have to be the future. So this is how my journey that, describe, which is going to be a large number of people and a lot of senior people in this audience who are sitting here, I'm sure are going to look at this, because from a student to vice chancellor, look at the years of experience that we all draw together. And I put it like an evolution. You know, when you're a young cadet, you're also like that little monkey there, all full of, all your naughty tactics. And then you're the strongest when you become the senior faculty. The first time you start bending is when you become HOD. I've been through that. When you start getting overwhelmed with administrative, but let me tell you, at that time you do feel, I'm wasting so much time. But I think if you have to reach there and bend again fully with your knowledge and wisdom, you have to go through these steps to reach the step where I have reached. And I really hope that many of you will one day take on every state health university. That is the day the medical education in this country will change. I think this is very, very important. The question came in this way forward evolution as to why I, took on this challenge of taking on a state health university. And let me tell you, even the governor said, Madam, it's a step down for you, because if you retire as a lieutenant general, you're already at a, almost the chief secretary's level of the state. And in the state, it puts you at a secretary's level. So you it's like a little step down. And then from uniform, when you go in, let me share that also with you, that your pension, the DA gets cut because you've got another job. And here they say you've come from a service, so your pay, you will be pay minus pension. So you're a big loser in every way, but it's the passion which drives you. It is time to give back. And that is what I thought. Because all of us, when we retire, we are looking for a new role. And I thought to myself, having served in the Board of Governors, in uniform, I was lucky to serve in the Board of Governors of the erstwhile when MCI was dissolved, and serving and continuing to serve in the Prime Minister's Scientific Technical Advisory Committee. I thought this was the time to give back, not give up. I had a bucket list, but I took on these new challenges. And therefore took on a university, which is one of the largest state health universities. Today, we have 614 colleges under MUHS. We just celebrated the Silver Jubilee. But if we had to, when I reached there, I saw not the challenges and felt negative of what is not there, but the opportunities of what it can do. And therefore, innovating education for smarter millennial healers. This was the oration I gave as a lifetime medical educator under the MEU, Indian Medical Education Unit. and a replicable university-led modernization in medical education. And I'm sharing some of those ideas because I'm sure the people sitting here are so capable of taking it to the next level and giving me ideas to take it forward. So it was no more about a coffee table book, but we created a vision document. And today this vision document is part of the Capacity Building Commission under the Prime Minister's office for institutional development plans as a model. We didn't know that, but it was the armed forces which had taught us how to take analysis. So we looked at it and gave deliverables in a time-bound manner so that MUHS, which was just affiliating university, needed to move more towards education and research, and we coined it the 4P way. So the first in the 4P is the problems. So we highlighted them, going through a SWOT analysis of usual, the strength, weakness, opportunities, challenges. And I think we had large number of colleges, some of the best colleges, and the feather in the cap was AFMC. Weakness was, of course, increasing number of colleges, trained faculty shortage. University had become more an examination and administration organization. So we needed to do a huge change. So therefore, I think any place that if you have to start, you start with the place. That came the second P2. And having learned from AFMC and the armed forces, we went about to change the entire infrastructure of the university by learning way. And this is the left how the bungalow inside for the Vice Chancellor was. After living in Lutyens, Delhi, in one of those good Kushak Road houses, it was a challenge to come back to boots on the ground. But I think that was the beginning difference, because no Vice Chancellor, no faculty had lived on campus, being in the outskirts, and it was a jungle. And when I said, can I come and stay here? They said, you cannot, because there are leopards and snakes. And in Marathi, they call it biptia and saap. So they told me, madam, no one stays here, water shortage, biptia or saap. And there was, from there, Lutyens, Delhi coming, can I stay here? But the soldier and me said that I need to, and I just made a joke and said, ab tigress aa rahi hai, to biptia bhag jayega. And that's become the university's motto, because last time when I was visiting on a holiday in US, the leopard actually came and sat in the guest room, and they sent me a picture saying, ma'am, when you're not there, the leopard still comes in. So this is something which, and today this is how that bungalow looks. So this is what the armed forces teaches us, ladies and gentlemen, and this is what we need to do. And the same thing from the absolutely barren land. Today we have a 5 senses garden, a Sampedna path, and we've put in practice reuse, reduce, recycle. These are national goals, they are SGD goals, they are climate change goals, but university has become the beacon of showing people how it's done. And this is a picture that I'd love you to see. This is how the stone quarry was, and the right corner is within 2 years. This is the bottom picture. That is how the lake. This is what the armed forces teaches us. So I think there's who can be better. And this is how now the university is with state of the art and starting with washrooms and this. So this was bringing about a change in the place, convince those 600 people that she means business and we need to bring about a change. The armed forces again teaches us. I'll repeatedly say that because we don't realize the value of the system and the strengths we derive from having worn this uniform. We need to motivate a team and walk along, because if we want to move towards wellness, we have to remove the I. So that it's only illness to wellness when I is gone and we is replaced, and therefore started looking after the entire people who are working there. And we therefore went into building a sense of ownership. And the jacket I wear is worn by every employee in the university. And we call ourselves the hashtag MUHS Parivar. And we have Shramadan once a month where we clean up the entire this. Can I close this? There's something which has come up here. Yeah. And starting with health camps, health insurance for the people. And let me tell you, even the non-medicos have all undergone ALS, and including how to use the AEDs so that they feel that they're part of the health course, and refresher courses even for the non-medical people, because this is where we need, and we need to continue to train our people across all. And the next, at the month end, the entire officer lot, that is your deputy registrars, assistant section officers, I'm taking them for a retreat to Goa. So this is the level that we can change when we want to do it. So I think this is not moving. Yeah. So the faculty development initiatives, like I said, is the most important, and AFMC takes a lot of, and we've created the regional unit here when I was the dean, and we are also looking at how to, and Shankar is sitting here, everyone contributed how to bring in better training for faculty across all our teaching hospitals. And we are going to have a faculty development academy. We've also created for women leaders in academia, where we find as we grow senior, the women were lesser. So we created a program through the Melinda Gates Foundation, where faculty across pathies come in and they spend time to have and bring in ideas for this. So this was something which the Women's Lift program. And the last four, after the people came the processes, which was most important. Had I come out with ideas of changing processes, I would have probably broken the bat. So we need to take it in a very gentle manner. And we therefore came to the academics and research as the last, where we started with integration. I think this is a slide I'd like to, that how to respect all others. So this was the first time that the university has every pathy. My VC is from the Ayurveda, the dental is in the URD, DSW is homeopathy, IMETT has physiotherapy, and we have changed our PhD programs to have integrated approach to do real-time research to find real listings in an integrated fashion. And we have the Ayush department at the university, which we've set up, which has online clinical meetings across pathies to tell people, these are the limitations, these are the strengths. Everyone doesn't know everything. And we also have a research unit for Prakriti Kayakalp. And this is a new course that the university is going to start this year on integrated course on family medicine. We're not the mixopathy teaching therapeutics, but whereas the allopathy and homeopaths will learn emergency medicine and care, the allopaths will be learning how to use integrated systems for preventive and promotive. That is not done in detail in our course. So this is something which we are going to be the first in the country, and everyone's looking out for this. Keeping in times with our youngsters who would like to, we've started the digital library, and this year, every college, 600 colleges would be linked. Every student would get the journal access. 35% of the cost will be paid by the university, 65% by the college. So this is something. We've also started an LMS with digital courses, the foundation course in digital health, as well as a degree plus program for skilling. And I'm very happy to say this is the way forward. The DHFC course has been adopted by the National Health Authority. It's on IGOT. And within the first month, more than 10,000 doctors are undergoing the basics of digital health. It's available on our website, free for all students and faculty members. So I think assessment drives learning. So at every level, we need to do that. The university has created the blueprints and system of online scanning and evaluation, reducing corruption and taking it forward so that results are declared within 10 days. Of course, the postgraduate university has started its postgraduate institute. The newer this thing is the summer internship project.
people, because till now it was the engineers coming up with innovations and doctors also ran. They created solutions and came to us looking for problems. We will decide over here. The last is an outreach program where 6,000 over tribals have been evaluated. We've adopted 18 villages, and we're going in for the largest international conference of implementation research, which is going to be, it's called Blossom, where we've really looked after Adivasis. And in this, what we've created is a platform called Sangam. Sangam is again an acronym. Everything in MUHS is acronyms. So Sangam is synergy of academia, networking with government, allied health and medical professionals, led by our Chief Secretary of the Maharashtra State, IIT Mumbai, and university colleges, where we are undertaking research with a difference. So this is exactly what the DG AFMS meant when she said, we need to get out and start collaborating. We have MOUs with absolutely a huge number. This is a small list here. Chairs of excellence doing research in specific. Some of these ideas we can incorporate into the armed forces. We can bring in our veterans as chair professors and keep them for specific research, because that would bring in a continuity. And I think in the end, we need to, if we have to look at being part of a Viksit Bharat, there is no question that medicine is a science, but the healing is an art. And just the way at AFMC we nurture our young cadets into all other societies and clubs, we need to retain that and take it forward. And therefore, at the university, we have initiated the Mission Life with a cleanliness drive, Shramdan every last Friday of the month, more than 5,000 trees planted, drip irrigation, rainwater harvesting, solar panels, plastic mukt campus, and all this in 2 years' time. So I think this is where we need people in uniform, when they get out, are leaders, and the world is looking for such leaders. We've strengthened all our regional centers, and we are looking at the future through the first Asian Development Bank funded project called the Chakra. Again, Chakra is an acronym. It's a consortium of health, applied knowledge and research with autonomy. The government of Maharashtra has permitted us to set up a Section 8 company with full autonomy for research under the university, where colleges will work. And this will function in a hub and spoke model, which is strengthened by partnerships. So we would have the colleges, we would have the nodal centers, and I'm sure AFMC would be a huge part of it as being part of the university. And therefore, we would be integrating with various centers, and already 4 spokes are started and sanctioned by the government and announced, and the Chief Minister has put it in his 100-day program. So by March, we will have all 4 running, which would be a data center funded by the Koita Center for Digital Health at IIT and the Koita Foundation, which will be in Mumbai, JJ. BJ will run a clinical department for maternal and child health with our genetic lab. The Department of Geriatrics will be run, and already the state government will run a geriatric department in every college. AFMC can be a huge resource because AFMC set up that department really long back. Nagpur would have a chair, this thing for tribal health, and so on and so forth. So with that, we've already hit the ground running, and we had given deliverables to the government, but even before we have registered the company, we've already started. We are having a digital learning studio, a digital health center. So people who are retiring from the AMC would like to join as faculty, there is a huge opening. But this is the future of medical education. We have to find ways through this. And this is going to be a state-of-the-art before the Kumbh in 27. Today, everyone's running to Prayagraj. In 27, they'll be coming to Nasik. But in 25 itself, we started planning for what will happen when people come. And we are having to move from illness to wellness. The first National Museum on Wellness is being set up with the help of National Center for Science Museums. So AFMS is more than ready. And it needs, I'm sure, the INI status, which we've been taking up for. And I think it should be in every way, it is even beyond the INI. So we have the biggest disciplined workforce, but its worries is that it takes time to adopt change. I mean, some of the ideas which are being implemented, we've been brainstorming them for the last 20 years. But I think change always happens in a disruptive manner, and the time is ripe. The time is now, with the present leadership already thinking in those lines. The opportunity for digital health, One Health, and aligning our research to the armed forces needs as well as national needs. And I think the challenge is integrating our tri-services as AFMS and really bringing it uniform. The public health research that AFMS can undertake, and I share this as being part of some of these are mission projects undertaken under the PM's TIAC. Like the genetic data for the Indian diaspora, we have just, the DBT has completed 10,000. But if we can add to that, because for us, it's so easy. We have their medical records, everything, we can add to that. Creation and utilization of databases, registries, and consortia. ICMR is looking for that. The moment our HMIS and things can be, should be able to run registries across for the most common. Instead of going into my specialty or your specialty, we need to look at what the country needs. We can use AI for diseases in all descriptive, predictive, and AFMC has already set up a center. GIS mapping and effective utilization of resources. And the organization can undertake such projects to give a way forward for the country. AMR and One Health. I think this is a huge project which is being undertaken at the national level, and I've tried to push and ensure that AFMS forms a very important part of it. Increase the integrated research hubs through collaborations, which the DG AFMS has already spelled out, and military medicine and CBRN research center. We had envisaged it about 5-6 years ago, and I think it's time to really get it going. And DRDO is willing, but we need to have that kind of thought process. So I think in the end, it is about, this is how the university now stands. I give my acknowledgements and once again, deepest gratitude to the DG AFMS, Commandant AFMC for inviting me here, AFMC for giving me the roots from which I grew the wings to fly so high, my teachers, family, colleagues, patients, and most important, my students here at AFMC. Vision without action is just a dream. Action without vision is just a task. But ladies and gentlemen, action with vision can change the world. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
Ma'am, what are you doing?
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. The Honorable Vice Chancellor Education has gracefully consented to answering a few questions again.
If they have any distinct, because having now a huge inside outside perspective, I'd be very happy to take a few questions.
Very grateful to the Honorable Vice Chancellor who can consent to answer questions. Those who are possible to get this, but with a vast wisdom and knowledge, I'm sure anyone in the audience would like to ask, we may permit a couple of questions.
Anyone? I think everyone's ki bahut kaam karna hai. I think everyone is a little overwhelmed that there's so much work to be done. Yes.
Building this COT done basis. My question for this for area research. How do you get data? Because it is good to do for having. For example, can you get the child out of need to also. Single level. Funding is so difficult. Share a audit.
Yeah. 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 No, Brigadier Annadure, that's a very important point, and I think a lot of us have faced this in the past. But like the DGFM has said, I think the time is now come where we can, and with the national digital privacy and digital policy for privacy,
and security, both come in, privacy as well as security. I think the roadmap has been laid by the policy. If we stick to that and ensure it's anonymized, today with the layered way that we can share data, it can be provided they remain on Indian servers. I think that is the bottom line. Whenever we share data, firstly, if it's anonymized, it can go through scrutiny, and it's not giving any patient data, but it's giving your, like ECG, if you're making an AI predictive model or this thing on that, you're just sharing clinical things. You don't have anything to do with patients. So those kind of situations, I think, and with the DGFMS office now setting up a cell, I'm sure they will be able to, it's a question of, it's a fear of the unknown. Ladies and gentlemen, I've realized it, that even when one was junior and you felt, but it was when you become senior, no, you don't want to, what you don't know, you'd feel there is a danger in that, and you don't want to be doing the wrong thing. And the armed forces being such a stable, rock solid, the only organization, we have to take care. But at the same time, how to sift out this grain from chaff and what can be shared as per, if we stick to the guidelines, I think there's no problem.
Where do we understand, when we look at our paramedical training? Because that's such an important part when we talk about the NCHT Act.
Yeah.
And where have we gone with that?
I think, again, I thank you so much for that question, because just last week I had a huge, you know, those Narawala civil state where the paramedics marched up, because there's a huge lacuna left. And since AFMC was the organization by which MUHS started the paramedical courses, the BPMT, as it was called initially, it was the faculty of AFMC. Because I was on the board of governors in the MUHS, I know how every person here contributed to developing the syllabus, which later became the BSc paramedical training. Let me tell you, the Armed Forces is continuing to train them beautifully. And as I speak today, this afternoon, my registrar and this thing are there with the secretary. I've taken up the matter at a highest level that the training is pathetic. But, and with the result, we are not developing it as a pyramid. The health doctors are at the top. You need a workforce behind that. We have that in the armed forces that the country needs to. So having said that, I think a time has come where our paramedical training can be ensured across through our veterans. And there I was just speaking with the DGFMS, and a lot of you would join that pool soon. I think we need to form a forum of veteran medical educators who will look into all these without agendas. It is very disheartening to see some veterans who leave and continue to become and be part of the ghost faculty and what's going wrong. We in uniform stand for the nation, and at the national level, this is where the board, paramedical board, which was supposed to be, this thing has not been, and we are pushing for that. The Ministry of Health is looking, the next commission to be formed is going to be the Nursing Commission. At the moment, it's still a council. It started with health, then came the NCISM, which is for the Indian Systems of Medicine, so Homeopathy Council. Now the Nursing Council is all ready to be announced, Dental Council, and soon thereafter will be the paramedical. It's going to take its time, but we are going to be the people who are bringing about that change. So I would love that people put into it, have a roadmap, and let us take it to the nation and say, we can do it.
Actually standardizing the course that all our paramedicals across the services also do, and to upgrade. And we are also in talks with the health secretary who may actually, kind of facilitating the uploading of the, for them to go on and manage a lot of that is happening. So I
Yes.
encourage everybody here, all the engineers, to finally ensure that everybody in their area of AOR is getting registered on this.
I think that's an excellent move, and maybe we could even think of using digital technology The classes that are run for the paramedics at AFMC and our other institutions, AMC Center, if we offer it to the nation that these will be available as a resource through this, either through our own website or through university, through center website, this would help paramedics across the country. So let's think very big. That's an excellent thing from the DGFMS.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you.
May I now request the chairperson to kindly consider the Honorable Vice Chancellor emeritus.
Thank you so much. What an honor to be here.